Hi everyone, and welcome back to Terms of Blunder. This is going to be my second video, and once again, I'll be showing you a game where I basically blunder the game away. I'm playing against an 1800 rated player, and alright, let's just jump into it. I'll pause when the blunder is coming up and see if you can guess how I go brain dead. Alright, let's begin. We start off with e4. I respond with c5. He moves his d pawn to d3. I play my knight to c6, f4, e6, knight f3, and I push my d pawn to d6. And what I was thinking is basically if I had instead developed my knight, I would have been worried about him pushing this and then me having to move around my knight somewhere. So instead, I decided to protect that so that I could develop my knight later on. Anyhow, he plays bishop e2. I develop my bishop to e7. He castles, and I bring out my knight to f6. And he plays h3. I don't really know why he did that. Apparently the best move was a4. I castle, and the engine seems to say that b5 is the best. I don't really know why b5 is the best. Maybe potentially if he develops his knight, I could potentially push him back. But anyhow, he moves his knight to e1. His queen e1, and I decided that I wanted to develop my rook, put him in a better position, so I move my rook to e8. And what I was thinking is at some point I can bring my bishop here because he is bringing all his pieces to the king side. He develops bishop e3. I play b6. Once again, engine wants me to push to b5 and take more of an aggressive approach here. I didn't want to do that because I thought if I push this, I might be overextending, and this still allows me to develop my white bishop and put it in a better position. So he pushes c3. I play bishop b7 once again. Engine really wants that b5 move, which I don't play, and just continue with my idea of trying to get the pieces developed. Place knight b to d2. I bring my bishop back to f8. The idea once again is to protect this guy right here. Open up this file so that I can push my pawns and potentially get a free piece. Now he starts pushing for an attack on the king side, and my response is if he's pushing on the king side, I'm going to go ahead and try to attack the center. So I play d5, and he pushes his e-pawn to he pushes his e-pawn to e5, and now my idea is to retrieve, so I figured I would retrieve and go knight d7. And apparently this was a mistake. A better move would have been a more aggressive move, which is d4. The idea being that if he takes, I take, and he takes, and I think that's what the engine is thinking. And then if he takes on, oh well, that's not good. Well, that's why I'm the blunder king. Okay, so that was the general idea there. But anyhow, I don't play that. I play knight d7. He brings his queen to g3, and I guess his idea is align his queen to attack on the king side. I thought it was a good move, but the engine doesn't like it. I respond with d4, and the idea behind this is that if he takes with his pawn, let's say c takes d4, c takes d4, and then let's say he takes with his bishop, then I can take this. It seems like I've dropped a piece, but I haven't, because after knight takes d4, I have the good move of knight takes on e5. And that will give me a really good position here and give me a pretty strong center. So, anyhow, something like that plays out, but in a different order, and I missed that. So, c takes d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, and here I should have played, if I had just thought this through, I could take knight d takes e5, and basically we're back where we were before, with the idea being that if he takes here, if his knight takes on c6, then I can take that with my knight right here. So anyhow, back, knight takes c4, I take d4, and now I can no longer take here because I can't take with my bishop on e5 anymore, because he can simply get it back and there's no threat anymore. So because I can't do that anymore, my idea is to centralize my knight and also open up this row for my queen. So I play knight c5, he takes, and I take with my pawn, which was a mistake. And the reason I took it with my pawn is I was worried that if I left the protection of the king, this push would be probably difficult to stop. But that was a mistake, and I took with my pawn. Now he plays king f2, and now what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead, come here, check him, and then grab this pawn right here while threatening this knight. But unfortunately, what I didn't see was that after queen e3, I can't really take here, because if I do that, then I'm going to lose my bishop with potentially... okay, well, no, that's not it. I don't know why there's a difference there, but anyhow, I guess with this one right here. Oh, that's right, because if I play this one, I can just play this, and he can't really take it because then I grab the rook. So instead of that, I move my rook to b4, with the idea of still keeping pressure on here and there, and then also allowing me to potentially later on get my rooks involved. So here we have knight c4, and basically he's moving that knight away so that it's no longer under attack and bringing it to a much better place. So then I bring my bishop into play by moving it to a6. The idea is now that I can grab this without worrying that if I take this, the rook will come here and win the bishop. So that was the idea behind it. He plays a3 to kick my queen away, and this is where we have a spectacular blunder. I'm gonna pause for a second and give you a chance to figure out how to throw this game away in a ridiculous fashion. Alright, great. Now, if you're anything like me, then you definitely saw that queen takes on b2 is the best blunder you can imagine. I completely lost my marbles here, thinking since my bishop was no longer on b7 anymore, I could freely take that, completely forgetting that the bishop was on. The knight had been repositioned to also protect that pawn, and of course he takes on b2, and that was the end of the game. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this game as much as I did. And by enjoy, I meant cry in agony. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, have a wonderful day.